When your rabbit flops in front of you, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Yes, it can look adorable, even funny, but behind that collapse, there's something deeper most people never realize. It's one of the most emotionally loaded things your rabbit can do. And if you miss the signal, like most owners do, you might quietly miss the moment they're choosing you or testing you. Let's start with the one that fools everyone. 1. The fake flop that's actually a trap. Has your rabbit ever flopped then peeked at you like they were waiting to see what you do? It might look like trust, but sometimes it's a test. Rabbits don't always flop because they feel totally safe. Sometimes they do it to see if they can feel safe around you. It's their way of saying, "I'm letting my guard down. Are you gonna make me regret it?" The fake flop looks just like the real thing. But instead of fully relaxing, your rabbit stays alert. One ear tilted back, one eye half open, watching. They're not resting, they're reading you. If you rush past them or reach down too quickly, they might bolt. And here's what most owners never realize. When that happens, the damage isn't dramatic. It's silent. The rabbit just flops less, comes close less, trusts you a little less. This isn't about petting or treats. This is about emotional calibration. Your rabbit is watching how you respond to their vulnerability and deciding whether you're safe to be around. Later in this video, I'll show you a very different kind of flop. The one that doesn't test you. The one that chooses you. 2. When flopping means stop what you're doing. What if your rabbit flops not out of trust, but out of frustration? It happens more than you think. Some rabbits use the flop as a passive way to say, "I'm done with this." Done being picked up. Done being followed. Done being overstimulated. To us, it looks cute, a dramatic little collapse onto the floor. But to them, it's a clear way to disengage, to reclaim their space without a fight. And here's the trap. When a rabbit flops in protest, most owners think it's a compliment. They move closer, try to pet them, try to turn it into bonding time. And that's the wrong move. If the flop came after you interrupted their routine, or if you were too hands-on, or if they already tried to move away from you before it, this flop is a boundary. A velvet-gloved no. Miss that cue too many times, and your rabbit might stop using the flop altogether. They'll just retreat, or freeze, or stay far enough away that the boundary doesn't need to be drawn again. But if you read it right and back off when they're asking for space, something surprising happens. They'll often come back to you sooner, because in their world, trust isn't built by forcing closeness. It's built by respecting distance. And hey, before we move to the next one, make sure to hit like and subscribe so we can get this video to more people who love their rabbits as much as you do. 3. Why some rabbits only flop when you're not looking. Ever notice your rabbit flop but only when you're not paying attention? You turn your head and suddenly they're stretched out, totally relaxed, as if they've been that way for hours. That's not a coincidence. It's a window into how their trust is forming. Rabbits are prey animals. In the wild, dropping your guard is risky. So if your rabbit flops near you but only when your back is turned, it's not rejection, it's progress. It means they feel safe enough in your presence to rest, but not quite safe enough to show it to your face. That's a huge distinction. They're saying, "I trust you, but I still need control." You might feel tempted to turn around and acknowledge them. Maybe snap a photo, maybe try to engage. Don't do that. The best thing you can do in that moment is nothing. Stay still. Let them have the power. Because if you do, something magical happens. Over time, they'll start flopping closer, then flopping in your line of sight. And eventually, they'll do it right in front of you. Eyes closed, belly up, completely exposed. 4. Are you missing their silent thank you? What if your rabbit has been thanking you this whole time and you just didn't know how to hear it? Some flops aren't about territory, or control, or even safety. They're about gratitude. When a rabbit flops after eating a meal you prepared, or after you clean their space, or after a quiet moment together, that's not just coincidence. It's a signal. A silent "this feels good." A body language version of "thank you for not rushing me, not forcing me, not breaking the moment." You won't get a tail wag. You won't get a purr. But this is their version of emotional feedback, and most owners miss it completely. Why? Because we look for signs we understand: licking, cuddling, vocal affection. But rabbits speak in silence, stillness, surrender. If you aren't trained to notice those micro moments, you'll write it off as just another flop. But now you know better. The next time your rabbit flops in the middle of a quiet pause, especially after something nurturing, take a breath and just stay there. Don't narrate it. Don't break the moment. Just be still. That's the reply they're hoping for. Because in their language, presence is how you say, "You're welcome." 5. The after flop glance, what that look really means. Have you ever seen your rabbit flop and then shoot you a quick sideways glance? It's fast, subtle, easy to miss. But that one look says more than most owners realize. This isn't a random twitch. It's not a moment of boredom. It's a check-in. Your rabbit just made themselves vulnerable. Now they want to see if you noticed. They're asking a quiet question. Are you paying attention to how much I just trusted you? And how you respond matters more than you think. If you walk away too quickly or don't acknowledge the moment, they might register it as emotional distance. But if you pause, even just for a beat, and meet that glance with calm stillness, they feel seen, and that does something powerful. Because for prey animals, trust is not just about safety. It's about attunement, being in sync, feeling like their emotional message was received. This is one of the few nonverbal moments where your rabbit is actively looking to you for feedback. So when you lock eyes after a flop, keep your energy calm. No sudden movements, no high-pitched voice, just presence. 6. The bonding flop, how to get them to do it near you. What if your rabbit doesn't flop near you because you're trying too hard? This part is tough to hear, but important. Rabbits don't flop next to people they like. They flop next to people they feel energetically aligned with. That means no grabbing, no fast movements, no hovering over them with your phone camera. If your presence feels like pressure, they'll move away, even if they love you. But when you sit still, when you breathe slowly, when you match their energy instead of trying to pull them into yours, something shifts. Your rabbit starts to feel you as part of their environment, not an interruption to it. And that's when the bonding flop happens. It might not be right next to you at first. It might be a few feet away. But if it happens within your energy field and they stay relaxed, that's a win. That's a silent invitation. I'm okay with you being in my space. And if you respect that space, you'll notice something incredible. The flops get closer. They start happening at your feet, or against your side, or right in your lap. 7. The flop, not just relaxation, but a message. Have you ever watched your rabbit flop and thought, they're just getting comfy? That's what most people assume. But this moment isn't about comfort. It's about communication. When a rabbit flops, they're not just picking a cozy position. They're speaking in body language, and what they're saying depends on where, when, and why they do it. If your rabbit flops in the middle of a loud space after a tense moment or right after interacting with you, that's not laziness. That's a signal. They're telling you, I've made a choice to relax here, a choice to let their guard down now, a choice to trust you, even when their instincts tell them to stay alert. That choice means more than most owners ever realize, because flopping is a vulnerable act. Their side is exposed, their body is loose. They're in a state where they couldn't run even if they wanted to. So when they choose to do that in your presence, they're sending you a quiet message that's equal parts trust, surrender, and bonding. 8. Your rabbit is dropping its guard on purpose. Why would a prey animal ever collapse in front of you, belly exposed, totally still? Because they're not just relaxing, they're letting you in. When your rabbit flops onto their side, they're not being dramatic, they're surrendering control. That position leaves them vulnerable to everything. No escape plan, no defensive stance, no tension in the muscles. Just trust. And here's the twist most people miss. This isn't something your rabbit does when they feel safe. It's something they offer as a form of emotional intimacy. It's not a gift they give to everyone, not even to the people who feed them, clean their litter, or buy them toys. They give it to the ones they feel emotionally regulated around, the ones who don't push, the ones who respect energy, the ones who understand that rabbits bond not through big displays of affection, but through quiet moments of mutual stillness. This kind of flop only happens when they've dropped the last layer of alertness. No more testing, no more glancing back, no more tension in the tail or twitch in the ears. They're telling you, I don't need to watch you. I already know you're safe. 9. The flop plus nose twitch combo. What if your rabbit's final test of trust isn't the flop itself, but what they do right after? This is the moment most owners never catch, and yet it's the one that says everything. If your rabbit flops on their side, and within seconds you notice their nose is twitching gently, slowly, rhythmically, almost hypnotically, that's not random. That's not just breathing. That's nervous system regulation. It means their body has fully shifted from alert mode to rest mode. Their muscles are loose. Their breathing is calm. Their senses are aware, but not defensive. And most importantly, their energy is telling you, I feel safe here. I feel safe with you. You can't train this. You can't force it. and you definitely can't fake it. This is the moment where your rabbit sees you not just as a caregiver, but as bonded, not just tolerated, chosen. When the flop and the soft nose twitch happen together, especially close to you, that's the final signal. That's the rabbit's way of saying, in the only language they have, "You are part of my safe space now." And if you've ever doubted whether your rabbit truly loves you, look for that moment. Because when you see it, you'll never need words again.